Do you want to paint faster without sacrificing quality? These easy techniques will push your tabletop models to the next level. Normally, you can find me in a setting like this, spending hours upon hours going over my competition pieces and display models. Well, today I decided I wanted to try something a little different. I want to see if what I've learned over the past couple months while doing competition painting can help me paint higher quality and speed up the process of my tabletop miniatures. The challenge today is to remaster the Skaven miniature that I did 5 months ago. In order to do this, I need to do it within the same time frame, and it has to be the same scheme to fit in with the rest of the army. We're going to start by base coating this absolutely awfully prepped miniature. Don't throw any shade, I did not know what I was doing back then. But regardless, we're going to get a solid base coat. Should take about 2 layers to get full opacity. I'll make sure I link most of the base coat paints that I used in the description, but keep in mind when I'm doing blending, glazing, and highlighting, I'm mixing in other paints. I'll list those as well, but you really need to understand how to create different tones out of the paints that you have. This includes properly learning how to use a wet palette, which I'll cover in a later video. I just want to take some time to thank you guys as well. Anybody who's watching this video came from my TikTok or found me on YouTube. You guys are amazing. Again, thank you so much. Alright, so we're about to get into something that I'm not proud of, and I really hate doing. And that's using contrast paint. You know, there's nothing really wrong with using contrast paints. I mean, other than the fact that typically they leave a bit of a shine to the miniature. But I have a bad history with contrast paints. My first paint set was just a big group of contrast. I had no idea that's what I was buying. I spent $90. I was stuck with contrast paints for like 3 months. And did I know what I was doing? No, so all my models looked awful. It was terrible. It was terrible. Anyway, we did get some use out of these, even though I hate them. And so now we're going to move in to more highlights, more blending. This process is basically just using our base coats that we had already been using, and then we're just filling in the highlighted areas that are catching light on the menu. So now we're going to get into probably the coolest segment, and the segment that I get to spend the least time on. This is only because this miniature doesn't really need much glazing. And glazing is such a cool thing, and I'm going to be making so many videos on glazing and why it's awesome and what you can do with it. But for now, we're just going to be kind of thinning it down into this glaze consistency, which is just lowering the amount of pigment in the paint when you're applying, and then we're applying it to get in the recesses. Get ready for a glazing montage. Alright, now that we're done with that sick, nasty glazing montage, we can get on to edge highlighting. This is going to be super important. This is going to make every aspect of your tabletop standard miniature pop. that's what we need. You're gonna see me do a mix of edge highlighting and blending, and also creating a little bit of texture. This comes with time. You'll figure it out as you go. Again, it's really knowing where the light is getting caught. I will make a good video in the future that will allow you to have a better understanding of this, but I'll give you a little diagram for now. This diagram shows how light is reflected on a round object. I would highly recommend researching this more. There are plenty of examples online, and this is just one of them. While highlighting, make sure you're not completely covering the recesses where we have that red glaze. That's what really sells the effect of a skin tone. Areas where the skin is thinner is going to be more red pigmented due to blood flow underneath the skin. Once we get to this point, we're going to go ahead and work around the model, trying to just make everything fit in before we go for our final round of highlight. We want to also be adding texture as we're going, as well as blending in colors. We don't want to have harsh transitions, even though this is a tabletop mini. All materials, including fabrics, metals, leathers, they all have different texture values. This can affect the way light bounces and reflects off of them, and also how it interacts with the environment around it. I'm going to try to have as many examples in the tutorial videos I have coming up, especially for non-metallic metal, but definitely do your own research on this stuff. It really helps. Something else that's going to be super redundant is I'm going to tell you to continue to edge highlight. It'll brighten up your mini. It'll make everything in the dark shadow areas pop. You don't have to worry about readability. If you're a person that struggles with edge highlighting, just make sure you're holding your brush at a 45-degree angle if possible, and then also only use the first 1/8 of the brush. The very tip any further up and you're going to distribute way too much paint. Right now I'm going to block in the eyes with white. That way in the future we can go ahead with some shamrock green contrast paint and make some like warpstone glowing eyes. Alright, we're starting to wrap up, so we're just going to look over our mini real quick, see anything that really stands out that is a mistake. Again, don't spend too much time on this. This is tabletop after all. It does not have to be perfect. This is going to be the last time we're using contrast paints, just to make some shadows and to go ahead and add those warpstone eyes like I said. By the way, the sword non-metallic metal and the shield, the rust effect that I have on there is just loading it up like crazy with contrast paint, specifically dark wood over white, and just letting it dry how it wants to dry. You don't really have to do anything else after that. Guys, I think I killed this transformation. Let me know what you think in the comments. I plan to do more videos like this, maybe even like batch painting these guys to show you how streamlined it can really be. And just let me know how you feel about these techniques if you want to see more of it. Guys, if you made it this far, thank you so much for supporting me and my content. I'm brand new to this. I have a lot to share and I plan on being here for a while. So if you want to subscribe, like the video, comment, that'd be great. I'll be in there waiting to respond to you.